Like even if the 1 minute is close, I think the 2 minute is easy to just do your 2 minutes and then use your, because Celestial is like a minute and a half. You can weave that in between them. And that would just probably still cover everything. I did put 1 minute across the bosses, but I can easily fix that to fit in.
Does his heroic sheet not have the group soak as a mechanic on the damage timers?
Else?
Does his?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get 70 or 80?
80? No.
Okay.
Oh my god, casual.
Was just checking.
All right.
Continue.
Does this website not have the group soak listed? It doesn't. It should happen at 41 seconds. It doesn't.
Do you put a healing CD there?
I'm not necessarily saying you would, but something like a movement CD would absolutely be something you put there. So that's surprising to me that this thing doesn't have it. I thought I saw it on Mythic. It is on Mythic. Huh. Okay, so he just doesn't have it on Heroic. That's weird.
Oh yeah, there wasn't a heroic sheet here, so I don't have that. But this app doesn't have it either. But you can put it in. Like you can just put movement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, say like 40 seconds.
It goes off at 41 is when it explodes. I have the timers. So it's at like 41, a minute 18, 335, 412. But we can do like Windrush Totem at 41, Roar at 118, something like that.
Yeah, we'll have another Windrush as well.
And then you should be able to do that exact rotation, Windrush and Roar, or Windrush, because they're like over 3 minutes apart, the phases. But yeah.
What is it called? Do you know the soap?
The ability is called Carnivorous Content. But yeah, I'm surprised it's not on his heroic sheet. It's on his mythic sheet. It's actually on his mythic sheet with the old name from beta, Brutal Lashings. But yeah. Mythic sheet, I should say, is Yeah, because those are the exact time. It's 41, 118. Those wouldn't necessarily be healing cooldowns, but movement cooldowns for sure.
Roger.
But I mean, we don't have to get too specific in that. That's pretty easy that we can do later. Yeah, my only thought is that Spirit Link during Hungering Bellows. I know people were doing it during beta, but people were also doing a really shit job at feeding the boss during during that phase. Like, theoretically, nobody should be standing still. Everybody should be grabbing pieces, dunking, and then you're done. Because if you're standing still, there's nothing else you're doing. The boss is taking 99% reduced damage, so there's no reason to be standing still. But we can probably leave it for now. Like, where else do you think that could go? I'll put it that way.
Well, the rains, I mean, we're moving the beginning of this, and then we're settled here, so it could be during the ads.
That is true.
But also, the rains do hurt, and this rain here is not covered. So Text Link could actually go on this one and help us. And then just move this one up earlier to reach this third one.
That's not a bad idea. What other healing CDs would we have during Bellows? We have AM, we have Yulon,
Revival, Communion. I think I put the same thing. So besides him, yeah, Yulon, Revival, AM for Communion on both of them. And there's a rewind on the late Bellows, but not the middle Bellows. Most of the healing cooldowns are on Bellows, so I don't think that it would hurt to take off Link. And then if it does happen to hurt, it's easy to just move the Link.
Yeah. I'm interested in moving the Link to the Venomous Slash earlier and then having it again on the Venomous Slash later.
Yeah, I think you get more value out of it that way.
We can easily be stacked for Lash, except for a couple people who need to be clearing at that time or around that time. I think that makes sense. I don't even want to give people the opportunity to be standing still during Bellows by placing a Spirit Link, and they can be like, oh look, I can stand in the Spirit Link. Like, I don't want that to be a thought.
That Spirit Link is
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Keep Tico's mind straight. He's gonna lose the use of Ascendance if you do that.
Yeah, I can't get that Ascendance in.
Do you want 3 or 2?
How much healing throughput is Ascendance?
Lots. Like,
yeah. Send
So you can
3
do
then.
this, and
Yep.
then you'll have this one with the link.
Yep. It lines up his first Ascendance with second Lash, and then his second Ascendance during Hungry Bellows. That'll be good. Yep. Yeah. I like it.
We could even stagger that third Ascendance slightly, because with Sprouting Totem, it turns Link into a healing cooldown as well as just a DR one. So we could stagger the Ascendance once the Spirit Link is finished.
Yeah, this is they put these little lines here for how long it is
that's
lasting.
what that is.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep. That's why I wanted to use this. Like, you get a very easy visual of like how long the buff lasts, how long the CD is. Okay. Do we feel like we need anything else to discuss on this one right now? I don't particularly think so.
Where do you want player defensives? Like, how do you plan? Because yes, you want all the individual players to sort of figure their own plan out, but at the same time, I feel like you want to give them a guidance of, if we're not, if we're not going to hold something for healing CD, then that like becomes a healing pot or a defensive moment. Like, what is the guidance we want to give the team on when a personal needs to fit in, or does this boss just not have any of those moments and sort of willy-nilly if it's your turn to Soka?
It has very few. The one would be the AoE soak, which on Heroic is purely ranged players. We don't even need melee to do it. So it would be the ranged on the group soak, because that's a guaranteed thing that they would be doing. Other than that, it's really just like as you see fit on like Venomous Lashes or during intermission. Maybe we could put like, I don't even want to put it in there because we may not even get that deep into intermission. I don't want it to trigger, but like on like Hungering Bellows 8 or something like that. Honestly, if we're in intermission at Hungering Bellows 8, we've done something wrong. But that's a case there. But I mean, other than that, you have Digestive Acid, which only goes on a couple of people. Venomous Lash, which is an AoE damage, but we have pretty good healing coverage on all these Venomous Lashes. And then you just have the Group Soak, which we don't currently have a healing CD assigned to.
Yeah, so I mean, I think then you take that and you go, hey, we don't put it on the Venomous, don't put it on the second thing to have healing coverage. We have healing coverage.
Yep.
Put it on one of the other two. Like, I think that's just what I would get at of.
Yep.
Help inform.
Yep.
Think about it.
Do you want to put in there then, Katie, for ranged and for healers on the note? Just put it at 41 seconds, and then we can change it later for all the other timings as well. Just for range and healers, since this is heroic. But put like personals or personal defensive, something like that. Yep, works for me. And we can copy that down to all of the other times that it happens in the fight later.
Okay, sounds good.
We can do movement CDs later. That's going to be pretty easy. Other than that, this fight is pretty easy. It's really.
How bad did the soaks hurt? The group soaks.
Let me pull it up. 1 second.
They weren't bad.
They were not that bad.
Them being
on heroic, it is 13 mil split between everyone. Depends on how many players we have. Currently, we have 24 people. I don't remember how many ranged and healers, but it's something like 12 to 15. So you're taking about a mil damage each, which is like nothing.
That's like not bad at all.
Yeah.
On that on Mythic, no. Is it going to be like an alternating situation?
On Mythic, it will be alternating. Yes, it's required.
Okay, so. And
on Mythic, it hits for 17 mil, and you're going to be doing 10 people, so 1.7 mil. That's still not that much. Not like bad. That's 50% of my HP right now, but like I'm not even in heroic dungeon gear. So.
Yeah. Cool. Great. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, on to the next.
Yep, Also, this is annoying. You have to go back to get to the other boss. You have to go back to the main page.
Yeah, that's not ideal. Did you port all these over?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I didn't have Bulgrax actually. I just made that one up like 10
Yeah,
minutes ago.
because he didn't have the timings in his sheet. Okay, Bloodbound Horror has 2 guaranteed damage events. The Disgorge, which sends people downstairs, and the Gore Splatter dot after the Gore Splatter happens. And then Crimson Rain is a heal absorb, but not a damage event. Other than that, the only time people are actually taking damage is when they're downstairs due to taking AoE damage. So,
Yeah.
just for FYI for everybody who's looking at this, there's only actually 2 guaranteed damage sources. All right. Explain to me, what do we have here?
All right. I didn't put for like the gruesome. I didn't really put a lot of healing cooldowns because we all have our short cooldowns. Like she'll have Dreamflight, Mono has his Celestial Conduit. I'll have my Toll Tech. You know, you have your Totem. And so I did put like, what did I put? I split melee healers and ranged healers for this. So like Mono and Sequoia in group 1 and me and Tech in group 2. And so I really just packed everything up with the Gore Splatter AoE. So on here it shows the movement is the green one and the AoE is the red one. It listed both as Gore Splatter. And then I put a Wind Rush for every run. And then after that we have DR for, well, Tech's DR for every Gore Splatter. And I have AM for the soaks on my side. And Mono is ramping on his side. What is this? Oh, this I did have her preschool downs here, which is the same. It lines up the same for her to ramp on her side for the frontals and downstairs, and she has extra short cooldowns as well. That are not listed. Like they're all here. They like we have all of our shortlisted cooldowns. So really, I just tacked on the gruesome, and I included the rallies and ascendants. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's so much. But I
just
get it, all right? Like there's nothing else that happens during the fight.
I mean, it's a big nuke too,
Yeah.
so that's where we need to survive. And I don't know. I don't really think there's much else to put. I personally think people need to know when to use their defensives depending on what group they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Just on this one, for Jet's Ascendance, I don't know how effective it would be if he's running away. Unless he's playing Ellie, if he's out of range, I don't know how much healing it's actually going to do if he's not in melee to be able to attack it. It might be better to...
Ancestral Guidance?
Yeah. Because if he's out of range, it might be better to put that one on like one of the frontals, the group soaks for his group, just to help with that. I don't know, just a thought. I'm not sure.
I just put that there because we run, put the Wind Rush down, then he runs in and then pops it. But I don't know if we're going to be that low by the time he does get back.
Yeah, because we've got quite a lot covering it, hopefully.
So, Mono, do you have any thoughts before I talk? Okay. My thought here is, yes, the only 2 guaranteed damage events are the frontal and the Gore Splatter dot, and the Gore Splatter dot is like 5 million damage over 10 seconds on heroic, or wait, that's mythic. What is it? It's 4 million damage over 10 seconds on heroic, so it is quite a bit of damage.
Sure.
I don't think we need to send the whole bag on that. I think the DR is good for sure. I think we can afford to move a throughput or some throughput stuff to when people are downstairs. Downstairs, you're going to be taking constant damage over 45 seconds. And I don't at least know what you have planned for downstairs exactly. There's no like one individual hit, right? It's just constant ticking damage, but I think that would be a good place to move some of like the throughput stuff off of the gore splatters and keep like the big DR, keep wings or something like that, or keep you on one of the two and move one of the other ones off, maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
I do think we need stuff downstairs. I figure we have our like mini hero talents, and like my toll is during my side, for example, and she has dream flight that's not, and stasis that's not being assigned, so she'll use that downstairs.
Mm.
And like mono, I only assigned this conduit because we had nothing there. That is actually his frontal. If he's in group 1, that's his frontal for downstairs. And then
So
I don't know if you're running stomp.
Mm.
That's a different build, right?
I guess let's put it this way. For each healer, what do you guys have? Looking at this now, what would you have to heal downstairs for constant damage over 40, 45 seconds? Katie, what do you have?
I'll be doing my tolls every minute, so I'll have toll pumping downstairs. It does extra. So toll is like a single heal, but it what is the word? It throws out extra like hits of my toll when I use it, and then my wings. I have a proc of wings. They'll probably be up constantly as well.
Okay, Mana.
I would have a CDR from still running, or at least having refreshed some of my keys, like Cocoon and stuff. But other than that, I could swap to 1 minute Celestial. Make sure I have something.
Let's see.
Otherwise, my throughput is mainly just it's Rising Mist playstyle against just Vivify and kicking. Kind of have a constant throughput.
How long is Celestial if you're not playing 1 minute build?
It's 3 minute, but it's theoretically reduced to 2 minutes. If this has a lot of not uptime, then it probably won't get reduced. But it would still not like 2:15.
Okay, because the downstairs phases are about 2:10 apart.
That would probably be. Well, yeah. Either way, I'm always going to. It's not worth running if I'm not getting it under 2 minutes.
How much
or
does
like at 2 minutes?
Okay, Tech, what would you have?
I mean, mine would mainly just be good totem positioning and throughput. I don't have anything specifically cooldown assigned that I would be able to use for that, other than maybe Earthen Wall totem, which is pretty weak, and the Healing Stream totem, but just general, I think throughput should carry me through that easily enough, especially if I'm paired with Kat and she has DT.
Well, is it... Kat, did you do this as... You did melee going down together, right? So Mono and you together?
No, I put one melee, one range.
Oh, one
together.
melee, one
Me and
range.
Tech.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And then what would Sequoia have? Assume she's playing Evoker for now.
She has stasis is 1.5 minutes every time, and dream flight is every 2 minutes. I don't know if that's changed to shorter, but it was every 2 minutes.
Okay.
Also, just have essence.
That doesn't help me at all.
Feeling.
I have no idea what that is.
The dream breath and the spirit bloom. They're like 30 seconds.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's the feeling.
Okay.
How do you want to handle like positioning for the ranged players that are down there, especially the ones going after a far tentacle? Like, where do you want healers versus where do you want ranged players? How do you want to think about that?
Yep. I have been trying to figure out if it's actually worth to split the ranged off and have them go kill the one tentacle, or just have everybody kill the group and then have whoever ranged is downstairs go kill the tentacle while like one person goes and CCs them. But assuming that it is how it was done on beta, where you just have a ranged group go and kill the far tentacle, you would effectively, if possible, split the ranged healer that is downstairs, so they're kind of standing in between both groups, so they can heal the melee group and the couple ranged people, or just make sure that they're in range of them, because the ranged people may have to go far. while the melee healer stays with the main group who's on the main group of ads. I think this is where I would like tell people to focus most of their personal defenses is actually while they're downstairs, not actually on like the frontal. Maybe save a health pot or a health stone for the gore splatter dot just in case. But constant ticking damage while downstairs while you're potentially out of range of healers scares me. That's what I'm currently thinking of. Do you have any thoughts on that, Shark?
No, I think we just this is just an opportunity for us to like prescribe that before we see it. Help people stand on X, whether that's a healer or whether that's a a ranged player that's going out there. We can control that, trying to minimize the number of people that are like, I just didn't get healing, because we know that's going to come. So how do we minimize that? And it's not just on healers. It can be partially on you guys to be in a better, the more central spot, but it has to be on the player too. Like, hey, I'm not going to get healing if I'm.
Yep. I think the. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I likely won't be able to like whatever ad that I'm focused on. Not healing.
You're gonna make Shark.
Thank you for the follow, by the way.
Or no.
Pretty good spot healing.
One on me.
Sorry, Zelo, I'm talking a lot.
Like that. I'll run away.
Okay. Yeah, I think the general guidance that I plan to set is going to be basically the ranged who are going for the far ad are getting just to like their max range of the far ad so that they can kill it or CC ads. And then the ranged healer who is downstairs makes sure that they are then in range of those players. It's going to be hard to say like stand at any one position without having basically two people constantly marking things throughout the whole fight because all the positions are going to change. But I think that's the general guidance I'm going to try and set. That should, for the most part, keep the ranged people who are going far even in ranged of the healers if they were stacked on the melee group, because I think you could even do that even if the ads are completely across the room for each other. But yeah.
Yep. I mean, I think it makes sense. I think it's just it may be more. It makes sense more as a call out and a blanket statement of a be more central and be cognizant.
Yep.
If you're going to go far, you're on your own and you need to heal yourself accordingly.
Yep. Okay.
I also forgot to say, well, in a lot of them, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about the DKs, but there's AMZ that's not assigned, and I didn't assign darknesses because I figured the DHs would be split and we'd have darkness and AMZ down there.
Yeah, I mean they could just send that on the main group who's downstairs, to be honest, or they can send it on the frontal. Doesn't really matter. We can kind of look at that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think I'm fine with this. Anybody have any other thoughts, comments? All right, save it. Can you make sure to post the URLs in the healer chat for each one you're doing? Yeah. Thank you. What's going on?
I wish you just had everything.
Yeah, I'm really sad that like just sharing it with the group didn't make it so it's visible to everyone. Like that's weird to me. All right.
Just quickly before we move on, so we don't lose these things in the healer chat, is there any chance we could just make a channel with each boss in it and just put this URL in each channel?
We have the boss strategy channels. I mean, I have a Excel strategy planning doc where I'm copying all these URLs and putting them in, so then I can put them in our strategy channels later.
Okay, no, that's fine. I know that it saves a bunch of scrolling potentially to try and find them.
Yep.
Sorry.
They will be available. Okay. Stick around where every single ability hurts hard and nothing ever stops.
Yes.
Somebody raised a bitch.
Okay. There's like, we have light healing cooldowns on the first little decimates, but the most important ones, even though everything hurts, are the ones right before the shatter. because everybody needs to be topped up for that. And if they're not topped up, I did assign a DR for every shatter. So we have the link for the first one, and AM for the second shatter, and the third shatter. I can fill out more, but this is where the other Google sheet has ended at wherever we are here, 6 minutes. So that's how far I did that. So just heavy healing on the ones before shatter, on the decimates before shatter. So if anything,
Oh my god, you're
if somebody's low on the first decimate, they might need something from themselves. But I feel like those will be fine. It's just if you're super low before a sweep and you don't think the DR is going to save you, you need to health pot or something. Oh, and I did I put jets? Yeah, I put wind rushes for when the melee are running out from the shatter.
Darkness would actually probably be really good for the decimate before the shatter. I don't know if you have it on the shatter or the decimate, but it's probably actually better on the decimate.
I did put it on the shatter.
Because if you can actually, like, I don't know if it's possible, but like dodge the dot application onto you, that would be wild, but I don't know if that's possible. But even dodging some of those dot ticks would be really good. Yeah, also, for those who don't know, which may be a lot of people, I believe they changed the decimates on this fight. You no longer get 4 lines, you get 3. Which kind of changes a lot. With 4 lines, you could actually choose, like, if you wanted to break more images first and less second or equal or whatever. With 3 lines, you're kind of capped to like breaking 6 each time. So you're pretty much going to have the same damage from each decimate. You can't like front load it to get it away from the shattering sweep at all. Just an FYI.
Couldn't you go the opposite? Couldn't you backload it though still by choosing not to break if you wanted? I don't know why you would, but I'm saying if you were trying to put it all on one, you technically can still. It just has to go to the back.
You can. It would be harder positioning. It would probably be difficult to impossible positioning on Mythic. Now, obviously, Heroic, you can put them right on top of each other, so you definitely could. But you would have to position the images so that you can hit however many extra you want with the same 3 lines, which on Mythic won't be possible, really.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would be worth it. I think it's just playing for the consistent damage, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Yeah, I was thinking it might be nice to be able to front load it and just put heavier CDs there so you don't have to worry too much about the second one, but yeah, now it's kind of a moot point. Okay, so this is going to be a fight where it's like actually really important for people to properly use their defensives and for us to probably get like externals from either healers or utility classes, sacks and such. Because the people who get the second phase blades are going to get wrecked by the second decimate and the shattering sweep, and they're going to have a heal DR on them. So those people are going to be in danger. I plan on trying to make a MRT reminder specifically for that, so it'll track if they got the debuff, and if there is like a shattering sweep coming up. So hopefully I will be able to have that, because we can't really have that specific level of telling people when to use the defensives if they have a debuff in the MRT note, but we can have it in something like Weak Auras. So I'll be looking for that. Monotech, any comments on the healing CDs listed here?
On me, sure.
The only one I have is you could get a second Healing Tide totem out with this fight length. You could either have it way earlier, like at the very beginning, which I don't know if it gets a ton of value, or I can just not run 2-minute Healing Tide and throw a talent point into something else. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, what does that talent point get you? It looks like you could use it on the first decimate.
I could get the first decimate, yeah. And
I think that's fine. Yeah, then that one.
On plus 3rd.
Yeah, it's probably
What's a lesser key
guessing-
flame shard?
fight
Do a
will be
quest.
done by then.
Yo, where do I put it in? I need to do 0 to 4 right now.
A lot of the
Obviously,
logs
right.
that I saw for this, the fight timer was around 5 minutes ish.
I see. Yeah.
If the boss is about to die, you know, and you have this up here,
Obviously,
I would
send
throw
it.
it.
Yeah.
I'm pressing it.
Yeah, I don't really know how timers are gonna work just due to like beta scaling and stuff. We'll just have to
Totally.
see. Especially because they seem to be making this fight, especially on Mythic, one where they want you to fill up the whole room, which just like wasn't a thing that was really happening on testing. You could like game the positioning so it didn't matter, so you could go longer or shorter in the fight. The changes they've recently made make it seem like they really want you to like smolder on, fill up the whole room, kill it right before you have enough space. Okay. So let me just stare at this for a second. Wings on phase blades, decimate is Yulon and healing tides. Second phase blades is nothing.
She will have dream flights and stasis. And
Okay.
I can probably tell her to get the second ones, evens, and I'd get odds. Whether if I don't have wings up, I can use my DT on odds.
Can we just click that in for now for her dream flight and stasis on the second phase blades? Yeah. On evens. It doesn't even have to be like perfectly accurate just to help my brain. She can get the one at 230 with stasis, but she can't get it with dream flight.
She'll probably be using that stasis early.
On pole. Gotcha. The phase blades at 2, we don't have anything on. Are we 2 minutes? Not the second one, but 2 minutes.
It's still this tank. He's gonna pull everything.
Are we likely to have stuff rolling from somebody else? Oh, you have Divine
I have
Toll.
DT
Okay.
every minute I have DT, so.
Cool. Decimated 230, wings, Elon stasis, phase blades, stasis as well, and wings. Decimate is healing tide totem. The shatter is revival and AM. Okay, that phase blades has nothing at 330.
Click on the little crabs.
Another dream flight.
Little crabs.
Sounds good. 4, we have Yulon. 415, we have nothing. Divine Toll. Okay. 430, we have wings and rewind. Shatter, Spirit Link Ascendance. Okay. I have to remember we also have darknesses for some of these decimates, but yeah. Phase blades.
Also remember that
stasis.
it's not in a few of these fights, but the Celestial Conduit is available like gaps.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Throughput.
What does Celestial Conduit do? I know nothing about Monk.
It's just big HPS. It targets or it hits 5 people, but I can move during it. It's a lot of HPS. It's
Is that the orb on your head?
my healing.
Is it
by the end of the fight?
Is it targeted 5 people or is it random 5 people? Or like,
Are you?
5 lowest.
okay, so it's low health. Okay. Does it like just for my knowledge, does it constantly change targets like to whoever's low health? Okay. Good. Okay, that's covered. 5 minutes shatter is Spirit Link. 5:15, we put the stasis on that. Then we have, what is that? Yulon and Healing Tide at that decimate. That Phase Blades doesn't have anything at 5:50. Divine Toll? Question mark? Yeah. How does Divine Toll heal? Because Phase Blades is only actually on 4 people.
I just hit it on people and then it ticks on them.
Okay, that's fine. The decimate at 6:15, we have nothing. It just looks like you didn't go that far out in the sheet.
Yeah, I didn't go. I stopped like right here is where I stopped.
I think that's fine. About 6 minutes is good. We'll stop from there.
And Yeah, I just learned about Celestial Conduit when I played my monk the other day. I don't have it on like anything, so that's a filler. And
it's the only reason why I might ever want to hold it is just to get the procs my other cast like PDR, but other than that, it is a throughput 90 seconds.
I like it. Movement, Windrush Totem on Shattering Sweeps is useful. I assume you have, yeah, Jets first and Jet Tech Jet makes sense. We also have Druid Roars. What's the timing in the fight? It's the second Phase Blades. I'm trying to remember. One of the decimates happens like very soon after Phase Blades, which might be worth assigning like Druid Roar. I think it's that one. That second decimate after the second Phase Blades at the beginning of the fight. Basically, like, hover over the Phase Blades. When does it happen? The decimate's at 126, Phase Blades at 105. It takes the boss. Oh, it's not that close.
it is closer than these other ones, though.
It
These
is,
are farther
yes.
apart.
Yeah, because the actual first rotation of the fight is different than all of the other rotations. The first rotation is the only one that like doesn't have a rain of arrows between two abilities at one point. Every other rotation after that basically has rain of arrows between Phase Blades and Decimate, where it doesn't in the first rotation. So yeah, that's why there's slightly different timing in the first rotation. And I believe that second Decimate is very soon after he finishes the charges from the second Phase Blades. So we're going to want people to get out quickly, move fast. So that's probably worth just slapping like Schnax's Roar on for right now.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, anybody got anything else for this? Personals. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a weak aura. There's no way we can put that in notes because it's gonna be entirely dependent on who has Phase Blades dots.
I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's just like rule of thumb. So if you get targeted with X,
Yep.
do Y basically, or if you get, I think it's going back to the initial roll. Any one ability, you're fine. Any two abilities, you're fucked.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like, there's only one. I guess Decimate technically is a targeted ability too, but for the most part, the people who are in the most danger are the people who get the second Phase Blades. So it's basically like if you get an even number of Phase Blades, you need to press a defensive.
Yeah.
Because even if you get the odd, like the first Phase Blades, it's not really that bad because the only other damage you're going to take is Decimate. But the second people are going to take Phase Blades, get the heal reduction by like 20 or 30%, whatever it is, then they're going to take Decimate with the Decimate dot, then they're going to take the Shattering Sweep. So they will need a defensive or an external. And unfortunately, we can't directly assign that either because everything is a private order too. But yeah, we can just make that rule. Basically, if you get an even number of Phase Blades, you're pressing a defensive. Okay. Sounds good to me. Don't forget to link us, Rashanan.
What was? Oh, Bloodbound. That's the second one, right?
Yeah. Bloodbound Horror. Okay. He doesn't have ad spawns on here? Does he have ad spawns on the heroic sheet? I feel like that's actually a pretty important miss. He doesn't.
You guys, For the sheet that you got from Visario, do you just get the free one or do you pay for it?
I paid for it.
Okay.
But like, I mean, let me slap his most updated one as well. No, even his most updated one from Discord doesn't have it. I wasn't sure if he had like updated it since then because I got it pretty early on, but no, he just doesn't have the ad spawns. The ad spawns are actually pretty dangerous, but I guess we'll just fly with it for now. We'll just CC them well. I'm sure we can do that.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, we do have extra stuff that's not assigned that could be on ad spawns, like perjuring flights and monos conduits, and I'm sure I'll have DT rolling whenever they pop up too.
Gotcha. Yeah, the biggest danger in ad spawns is just if you're not CCing them or killing them quickly and they start biting people, they actually hurt really bad when they're overlapped with like erosive spray or something. Okay, explain.
Every spray dot, I put HPS cooldown around every spray dot, and when there's a strand next to the sprays is when it hurts the most because those people get that hit from it. And then we also have the AoE rolling, so I have a DR. I think I have a DR on most of them. Oh, and I did put movement. Did I put movement? I did put jets. I thought I put it, maybe it's on the other sheet. For when we're running to the next spot. I put mono, like his revival, and a DPS cooldown for the web reeve because it doesn't actually like it. We take the hit, but we're not scared at that moment. Really, whenever web reeve happens.
Yeah.
So we can easily heal back up with just either his revival or regular stuff, and just have like a rally there or a darkness, and we're good.
Yeah, honestly, fully agree. The group soak is like a nothing burger for the most part.
So for the most part, what I did put in was that, and then all the other healing cooldowns around dangerous strands and sprays.
Okay. This will be a personal if you get the strands debuff fight, I'm pretty sure.
Strands is which things? The webbing?
Strands is the webbing.
Green.
Yeah, so and most of the webbings are relatively close to the AoE that the boss does. So you personal the webbing if you get it so that you're safe during the AoE. Okay. Which again, the webbing is a private aura. Hooray. But we'll just tell people.
Write that.
Yeah, personal webbings, yeah.
I hate the seed quest. Ugh.
Okay, so the erosive sprays are like, oh, they're at completely random timers. First two are 30 seconds apart. And then you have what, 45, and then a minute, and then 45, a minute, 45. Okay, so they alternate between like a minute and 45 seconds apart later on in the fight. The first two are just weird.
The weakest one is this one.
Those are really close on top of each other, the spray and the strands.
I could not AM here and move my AM here so we have DR for this overlap.
I don't really like sitting on AM for 4-5 minutes. What's AM? Is it 10% or 20%?
I don't remember if I get a buff. I know I have a talent for it, but I don't remember how much, if it buffs it, if not. If I take it, I mean.
I'd rather just use it on CD. Where's Spirit Link at? It's sitting for a while. And it won't be back up then. Would Sequoia have anything? This is for the 6-minute one. Sequoia could have Emerald Communion late. I don't know how much that helps us. Probably not that much, to be honest. What's Mono's revival covering? Oh, push Mono's revival. Yeah.
Revival
This one down here.
anyway.
Oh, he has the.
Are you able to do that?
Oh.
Well,
It's fine. You don't really have to ramp your celestials. Get like 4. Especially with the 2-minute, it lasts a long.
yeah.
Throughput.
And this is on an even too, so or
Okay.
if you did have your celestial
I was gonna say
there too.
I would rather celestial than revival and.
Yeah. Yeah. Move his revival back then. Have celestial there.
I don't remember where I had it.
It was on the group soak at like 520 ish. Yeah. Which like I'm really considering us not even bothering putting anything on the group soaks. They do like so little. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Heroic.
Yeah, and there's nothing dangerous like before or after. We heal if
Yeah.
we get hit.
I
Nothing
mean,
happens after.
it's crazy. It's 40 million damage. We're gonna have 24-ish people. So 1.5, 1.6 mil per person, but then you have like 25 seconds to heal up before the next mechanic. Like that's a really long time. And it doesn't put a dot on you. He doesn't do just constant taking damage. The only thing we wouldn't know because it's not on the sheet is if ad spawns are happening right after that, which I don't think they are. But we can leave that as is for now. I think Mono Celestial and Yulon will be fine there.
I doubt we get this far. I didn't go this far, but if we do, then this it would be the only scary one because we have strands right after.
There's no shot this fight's lasting 9 minutes. I will kill myself if it does. For the 6 minute or 5 minute 50-second overlap, put the text note for everyone to personal.
Oh, what time? This one?
The erosive spray plus spinner and strands.
You said personal?
Yeah.
You guys eat my cookie.
Okay. Tech Mono, any thoughts?
Yeah.
Yes, I would. Alright, looks good to me. Tigo, you're gonna have to learn how to put your gate down properly.
They.
The pre-place gateway.
Yep.
I'll pre-place
Big
it
brain.
15 minutes in advance.
We've got 2 locks. One's going left, one's going right.
Smolder on griefing again. Those lock cases.
Oh, you know
I'll
it.
brief you forever and ever. Until the end of time. Wait, where the I need one more seed pouch. Why can't I find one? Respawn or something?
Right, for this one, what did I put? Yeah, I put an HPS cooldown on the raid AoE where the concoctions are near the dosage as well. Because this is just a tank debuff, but this is when the AoE actually ticks. And then a DR's heavy stuff during Black Blood, which is big red lines.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's these extra ones that we can put in the 1 minutes and 1.5 minutes too.
Did you see at all? I don't know if you looked at logs for how much that AoE actually hits for, because it's based off of like tanks missing health.
For the Black Blood?
No, for the raid AoE, the volatile concoction.
I don't remember how much. I was watching some frames, but I didn't look at the actual number.
Wait, does volatile concoction? That's raid AoE? Because
we had it different here with 3 ticks and then after the dosage and then 3 ticks of concoction.
The way the dungeon journal reads is that it does damage to his target, which is the tank, for 8 seconds, and then upon expiration inflicts additional damage based on the target's missing health. I assume that additional damage is AoE to everybody, but it doesn't actually say that.
That's what, like this right here, the second row is the tank hit.
Yeah, it's tank debuff, and then it says raid AoE. I guess we just go with what Vizario has. I'm sure he looked at the logs and saw that it is raid AoE. That's just weird to me. Okay. So theoretically, if we are perfect with CCing Smalley ads and interrupting worms, we only take damage from those mechanics at the top. However, we will also take damage from people getting hit by Smalley ads and missing cast interrupts. I don't think there's an easy way to plan for that, though. That is just to say, with whatever we come up with plan here, expect a lot of the healing CDs to be pulled forward early on. Maybe not on Heroic so much, but on Mythic, especially in Prague, where we're just getting wrecked by ads and stuff, and then we can space them out more to the actual plan once we get into Prague. I envision that happening.
Okay, coming.
Okay. Ingest Blood is actually 20 seconds into the fight. All right.
Says I already got credit for killing this one earlier. Fucking Arthas. Reading all the tags.
I don't know if this will hurt at all. And then we go directly into it. Everyone is gonna have an AoE, is what he says, right before the Black Blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense to slap some DRs on that. Sticky webbing, does that actually do damage?
I am not sure.
It does. It does damage until it's dispelled, and then it does damage when it's dispelled. Okay.
So should we put something on every sticky web?
Sticky web is on 3-ish, 4-ish players. It doesn't really do that much. Well, it kind of does, actually. 500k a second. It's basically the same as the Gore Splatter dot.
And they're happening like in between here as well with some cooldowns. So the ones that are uncovered, like this one's not covered, and this one's not covered, we can probably do Dreamflight, NGT, and Conduit, like rotate every 3.
Yeah, the biggest thing with that is it's just like the damage ends very quickly if we just dispel quickly. But that dispelling will also be up to player's placement. We can't just insta dispel. So.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What's up?
I was wondering if Freedom counted as a dispel.
It does.
The webbings, but if we're not doing them at the same time, then don't need to do that.
I mean, we can dispel all of them at the same time. The issue is just that they can't be on top of other players.
Oh, okay.
So it has like a 10-yard or 10-yard radius circle. And if you dispel them while somebody's in that circle, the players who are in that circle get rooted and can't move. And then the boss eventually does like a rain of arrows thing. So if you're rooted during that, you're probably going to get killed. Or you're rooted and you get targeted with the debuff to break ads and you can't get out, so you can't break an egg. So there's going to be
somebody in the middle of the group.
Please don't. There's going to be some delay between when the debuffs go out, how long they're ticking on players before either players get away from them or they can get away from everybody else. So that's going to be people's personals, most likely, is if they get targeted by Sticky Web. Because there's just potential for other stuff to be going on, right? There's the Black Blood that could be happening at the same time. There could be Volatile Concoction AoE. There could be ad cast going off that we miss. The other thing would just be personaling on Black Blood if you didn't personal on Sticky Web. That's so many Volatile Concoction AoEs.
It's pretty constant.
It can't do that much damage. It's every like 20 to 30 seconds apart. Yeah.
Yes.
It can't hit that hard. I don't remember particularly on beta taking any damage except for when the ads got out of control and then we just got murdered. So,
basically all I saw. It seemed like anything damage check or healing check was high unless you started to like.
yeah, it was basically all entirely. Yeah, it was entirely in the ads. So I don't think it's that big of a concern. Healing CDs on the black blood or like the phase transitions will absolutely be important, especially if we like miss ads, because I think he does like increase damage or something if you miss eggs or get ads empowered by the black blood. But yeah, mono tech thoughts.
For that. Particular, one of the tank busters that like overlaps for a lot of damage coming out. I have cocoon, so like I don't know. Not gonna do that much.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Talk about your cocoon like that.
I mean,
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
cocoon.
the tank debuff while we're in the spider big tank ad phase. Because the tanks will be tanking potentially multiple big tank ads, and they'll be getting the tank debuff, and they'll have the raid explosion. So that'll be the phase.
cocoons and cocoons short CD thanks to a card that's just kind of innate in the kit at the moment.
Is it a minute or is it shorter now?
I believe it's a minute or 3 minutes. I have to go look at the talent tree.
Okay.
I would assume 3 minutes. With the amount of CDR.
Well, we can get every single tank debuff that's happening before the black blood with cocoon or dilate or sack. Like there's 3 of them here. Four, I guess. 3. And we can do like cocoon, dilate, cocoon. If it's 3 minutes apart, because this is like just barely.
Well, I
reaching there.
don't think the danger to the tanks is necessarily going to be on the phase change. It's going to be when they're tanking the big tank ads. Like that's when tanks were getting murdered on beta. So that'll be like in the middle of the phase at some point. Yeah. Okay. Tech, anything?
No, this looks good. This is pretty much what I had envisaged as well.
This is going to be a really hard fight to get use out of like Spirit Link and Darkness because people are going to be spread the whole time.
On beta, I found that pretty much where these Spirit Link timings are is kind of good if you just place it like roughly where some people might be running through it, you know, and it was still getting decent value.
Does he... I don't know, Katie, if you saw... On Ingest Black Blood, does he start doing damage when he gets to the container? Or like immediately when he starts running to it?
I don't remember. I think it's when he gets to the container though. It takes a second.
Because if so, then that's like perfect for Spirit Link. Because we can all just be running to a place. Because there's nothing else happening once he does Black Blood. Okay.
We good?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do we have enough? Hold on, go back for a second. Sorry. What movement CDs do we have? We have one roar. Oh, by the way, I think Tai T might be playing Ellie Shaman. Oh, you did have him on here as that actually.
I put them both
Nice.
in here, and even the snacks in here too. And I put both of hers in here too, Sequoias.
So we have one roar. We have either 2 or 3 wind rushes and 1 or 2 roars. Is it possible to get coverage for like every sticky web?
Oh,
So that'd be like glorious. Basically, we have at least 4 guaranteed movement speed increases. So what are the cooldowns on those, and how far apart is like every 5th sticky web?
Can LA play Totemic Recall, and do they need it for anything besides Windrush?
Just from there.
Okay.
I was slamming that on Windrush in dungeons the other day, so
Ooh, does Shadow?
It's almost 2 minutes from the 1st to the 5th.
go from the like the 2nd to the 6th. Those are even further because it goes to the blind blood 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or no, okay, so 3rd to 7th is even faster.
118.
So it's
3.
yeah, it's 340. That's even further. Okay, so it's about 2 minutes between each one. Stampeding Roar is 2 minutes. You can play 1 minute. What's Windrush totem?
2. Or no,
It is 2 minute.
It's 2 minute guaranteed. Hell yeah.
You can also talent to reduce its CD to 130.
I don't think that's necessary, especially if we have 4 movements. We can actually get all of them.
Yeah, because you can also play Recall, and you have it fast in that too.
Yeah, with Recall you could get back to back. All right, well that's cool. I'll probably do that at some point and just assign movement CDs to every single sticky web because that's going to be annoying. Awesome.
Want me to write that in here?
Sure. Love having so many druids and shamans.
They think of the utility.
Mm-hmm.
By so many druids, you mean 1 druid?
1 druid and 3 shamans.
Not overflowing. Good.
Love it. Love it. Oh yeah, it's Nexus Princess.
Oh boy.
Go ahead and slap in the note there that every single person needs to make a weak aura for if they are, or I will make it and push it to everybody. If you're below 20 to 25% health, you need to health stone or pop a strong defensive immediately. Because if you get below 10% HP, you get 1 shot.
Oh, I made a weak aura for that. I can share that.
There we go.
Hang on, I'll do it right now before I forget.
Nice.
So yeah, in case anybody didn't know that, this boss will basically execute you if you are at below 10% HP. So this fight is a 100 to 10% HP, not 100 to 0 on your health.
Place bets on who we think that's going to impact them.
Never
You go
felt
running
so much
rush.
power before.
No.
You're just watching
No,
it
no, no.
fly.
See,
It's not going to affect warlocks, that's for sure.
I have 1 minute health zones.
What do you
Somehow
mean? You
die
can
in that
burning
fight with
rush
30
while
cent.
you're above 10.
That's true.
That
It
is
just,
true.
it just leaves
That is
burning
true.
rush on the whole time.
Ulti's gonna
Hey,
shadow our death himself.
It's a
Oh,
healer's job.
true.
That's
Burning rush
very
is
true.
a healer mechanic.
That's very true. Priests are going to shadow word death themselves. All right. Yeah, explain.
Here I put Mono and I rotating on the rift poles with the damage going
really?
out, and I put heavy burst HPS on during the intermission, which is he has it here, Starless Night. With movement CDs there. Where did I put? I did not. I put XDR on some of the rift so we can take that moving tick because it's hard during the intermission, and I had put my AM on intermission.
Yeah, Spirit Link would be useless during intermission. It's way too much movement.
I didn't put it here, but I also was putting rally during the intermission since we're all moving and whatever.
Is that also? You have revival there. I was going to say that's probably a good time for Celestial Conduit because he can move while casting. But I mean, you have a revival.
It gives, yeah, that gives you
I'll
speed
probably
too,
just do
right?
both. Yeah.
Whoa.
Slam it.
Believe it.
Love our conduit.
Oh, you can conduit every intermission. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's my current hopeful plan.
Yep.
The hell is mole stuffing?
Oh,
Okay. How much damage does the Rift Pole actually do? The Rift Pole does not actually. Wait, no, I have to multiply that by however many there are. Okay. So
And later in the fight,
there's
the
more.
Rift is hurting more.
Well, yeah, later in the fight, there's 5 instead of 3 at the beginning of the fight. So effectively, the Rift Poles do 100k per second for 6 seconds per Rift Pole. It actually does less than that, but 100k for nice math. So phase 1, we're going to be getting 300k per second, a total of 1.8 mil over 6 seconds. 1.8 mil to each player. Phase 2 will be 400k, 2.4 mil to each player. And phase 3 will be 500k, 3 million to each player over those same 6 seconds. So
hey, the season quest is up.
the
Special assignment.
The Rift pools in phase 1 are not that dangerous. 1.8 mil over 6 seconds isn't too bad.
I think this one is going to be bad, and there's not really anything there. I could push Mono's revival up.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. Is like if we need to move CDs potentially off of using them in P1 to make them line up better for P2, P3, that would make more sense because we're just going to be taking less damage in P1 than we will later in the fight. But I don't know if there's any opportunity for that. Like, yeah, you can probably move Mono's revival up to that second rift or first rift or wherever in P2. Dreamflight probably gets a lot of value because we'll be stacked up during most rifts. Spirit Link's going to be really useful in P3 on Rift. What's the second Rift in P3? Emerald Communion. What does Emerald Communion do?
Heals people for 20% of their health, and you get mana back, and she can also use stasis to make it stronger.
How many people?
It's a ramp type thing, so as many
Okay.
people as she can.
Okay.
It's real big.
Yep.
It does the big heal.
Yep. Sounds good.
Oh, BRB getting my taco.
So that makes sense. So I'm gonna like think about this fight basically backwards from P3 down to P1 because those are the most important times. So the Queensbane charges. I'm gonna basically ignore daggers. We should just dodge daggers. If we're not dodging daggers, that's people's fault. Queensbane is based off the charges, which in P3 is 5, then 4, then 3, going from P3 to P1. So it's only ever on a max of 5 people at a time. But it is a decent dot. That healing tide is at 730 is at like nothing. Can we scoot that forward to whatever that Queensbane is? Yeah, 710. The Nether Rift at 7 has Yulon and then Communion. Okay, the Queensbanes before that he has Twilight Massacre on here. Oh, is that that's the charge, huh? Yeah. Wait, so what does he have Queensbane on then? Because Queensbane is only from the charge or from Nether Rift.
Raid dot, raid AoE.
Oh.
Twilight Massacre is not a raid AoE. Twilight Massacre is the charge. So the ads target players and charge to them. Anybody who gets hit by that charge, which hopefully is just the people who are targeted, get Queensbane, which is a dot. Queensbane also goes on people that are the ones who are targeted by the Nether Rifts, which is the first Nether Rift in each phase. People get targeted by assassination. They drop the Nether Rifts in a specific spot. Those people also get Queensbane. So his thing is a little messed up here on like where Queensbanes come from. Like that third Queensbane doesn't actually exist. as far as I'm aware. Does he do 3 charges? He might do 3 charges. I could just be wrong. Okay, let's just assume he does 3 charges for now, and that third one is real. Hopefully the boss is dead by then, but if not, we have just Healing Tide Totem. Maybe Divine Toll, maybe.
Yeah, I'll have it on that.
Okay. Then the last Nether Rift is Emerald Communion for the most part with Yulon. The charges before that is kind of nothing right now, just like wings. Again, that's only on like 4 people or 5 people, so it's more targeted healing than like a raid CD. The rift before that, Spirit Link, is great. How long does your wings usually last?
20. I also am getting wings procs like in between these as well, so I can even save a Awaken Wings to pop up right after this one, possibly.
Gotcha. So the hard part with healing the people who get Queen's Bane is that those people cannot be in the raid. So they're going to be outstanding by themselves. So I'm just thinking of like what abilities we have. Like Dreamflight wouldn't really work for that because they're all spread out by themselves. Like Wings targeted healing would work. Basically any specific targeted healing or wide-ranging heals we have would work, but no stacked healing would work for people with Queen's Bane. Externals would work. Okay, put a note for basically just P3. Just scoot it over to like 6 minutes for everyone. You're personaling if you get any mechanic in that phase. Charges or assassination to drop the Nether Rifts. Okay. The first rift, yeah, is Spirit Link. The Twilight Masker, that doesn't exist. That I think his Twilight Masker is in P3, or like his icons are wrong. Because Twilight Masker always happens after Nether Rift, so his first Twilight Masker in P3 is before Nether Rift, and that doesn't make sense. Because the ads don't even exist yet. The ads are spawned by the thing that spawns Assassination, which then does Nether Rift and then does charges. So I think his timers are just messed up for Twilight Masker. We'll figure it out. But the general rule of thumb can still stand. So, okay, that makes sense. The last intermission, we have AM, we have Conduit, we have Rewind. Intermission is 24-ish seconds long. So it's perfectly fine to like spread those out some, if necessary. Okay. Going backwards from that. I have to figure this out. It's gonna bother me of like whether there's 3 charges or 2 charges because this thing is wrong. I have to go look at my VOD real quick. So give me a minute. No, it's guaranteed that you only get 2 charges because charges is on Mythic how you remove the debuffs from the ads and you only ever get 2 sets of charges. Okay, so the flow of the fight is always going to be, starting from the beginning, it is Assassination that drops the ads, then you have Nether Rift, then you have Charge and Daggers, then you have Nether Rift, then you have Charge and Daggers, and then you have Intermission. And that pattern is the same forever. So then in P2, again, Assassination, Nether Rift, Charges, Nether Rift, Charges, P3, assassination, nether rift charges, and P. He has P4 on here, but is that the issue? Is there a P? There's no P4. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here's the issue. His thing is actually wrong. There's nothing after 6 minutes, so we're gonna have to change this.
Okay.
6 minutes is showing a P4. The fight ends at the end of that 5 minute and 30-second intermission. That is the last thing in the fight. He will kill us after that. So that's where the confusion is coming from, and that's really unfortunate.
Does he kill us right when it starts, or like?
No, he kills us at the end. So it'll be like 6 minutes, 6:10, or whatever. He will kill us. Basically, the intermission goes on, and then the intermission turns into a endless intermission, and eventually the endless intermission fills up the whole floor and just continually pulses on the whole floor for like 50% of your HP every tick. It's similar to like Rygalon. Instead of being an entire one shot, it's like a ramping quick death at the end. But it happens at the end of the third intermission. So his everything after 6 is gone wrong. The fight ends at 6 basically. P3 is from 4 minutes to 5 minutes and 30. Sorry about that. That was confusing the hell out of me.
Oh, it's good that you looked into it.
Yeah. Okay. So now we work backwards from P3, which is ending at 6 minutes with that intermission. I don't know how much we want to apply to there versus use in P3 for the actual mechanics. Let's leave those kind of as is now for that intermission, and let's pull things towards the end of the fight from earlier. So the next thing we will encounter is charges. So assume that like 510 Queensbane is accurate for when the charges would happen. So that's charges on 4 people. Divine Toll, I guess. Probably like Sax from you and Oogs. Yep. And then we will have Nether Rift after that, which is the one at 5 minutes, which we have, what, Revival and Yulon. So that looks good. Then we'll have Charge again at 440, which kind of just has your wings, if it lasts that long. Again, it's only on 5 people. Wings and personals might be okay. What else do we have there for those people? Not much, huh?
No, unless we
Two
move
good
others.
ones for
Okay. I was eating tacos.
Do we need Ascendance and Spirit Link at the same time?
That's a good question. Because it's also Ascendance, Ancestral
over there?
Guidance,
Oh, that's hella
and
far.
Spirit Link, because I'll always be pairing those two together. But I think we could split them. But I don't know because I haven't tested it enough to know. That makes sense.
Yeah. Because my thought is to pull that Spirit Link from 3 minutes back to like 4:30, and the Ancestral Guidance can be at the same time then, and the Ancestral Guidance will also cover the charges afterwards, I think.
I think we could probably separate them and just have spot healing within Spirit Link. And I think that would be okay, but I honestly, like I say, I'm not 100%. I haven't had enough chance to test it properly.
Okay, because my concern is at 4:30 we have just wings basically, and that is going to be one of the hardest hitting nether rifts and the most people targeted by charges right after that, and we have kind of the least cooldowns there.
Yeah, this is not enough on its own.
So I'm thinking we could literally pull Spirit Link and Ascendants back that far. Still keep them paired together. Spirit Link on the Nether Rift, Ascendants. How long does Ascendants last?
Where the hell is the button?
15 seconds? Oh, that's probably not long enough. So I'm thinking you pull the Spirit Link back to the 430 Nether Rift. You pull the Ascendants back to the like end of the Nether Rift / the charges after. Yeah, so 427. Ascendants, bump it up some. Yeah, it'll be probably like 430, 432-ish, something like that.
Like that or earlier? It's 34.
We can leave it there for now. Because I don't know since his timings are wrong on Twilight Massacre, I don't know when it's actually going to be.
Yeah.
But the idea would be like use Ascendants towards the end of Nether Rift to help us top off, and then use it as well to spot heal the people who are going to get the charges. You think that'll work, Tech?
Yeah, I mean, the way Ascendance works is it just duplicates my healing. So if I'm spot healing, then that'll be great. But I mean, generally, you're just slamming chain heal.
Rarely sure.
Yeah, you should be able to get some chain heals during the Nether Rift with it, and then hopefully it's lasting long enough for the charges. Okay. So then that's P3 covered. So then we have P2 intermission at 3:30 to 4. That's communion and conduit. Well. Yeah, communion, conduit, and healing tide. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just want to space them out a little bit, make sure they're not overwriting. Okay, so then again, from 3:30 going towards the start of the fight, we're going to have charges at 3:10. Yep. So this will be 4 charges at this point in time in the fight. We are fairly dry. Divine Toll.
Where do we look? We're looking right here, right?
310, yeah. Are we?
Will still be.
What do you say?
Running. Sorry, my Celestial will still be running pretty. Because I will have the 3-minute Celestial technically, which lasts.
What's a World Sword memory?
24 seconds, 30 seconds.
Well, it won't be running that way because you'll be using it after the charges there. Oh. Yeah, we're talking about like 3. You'll be using your Celestial Conduit at 3:30. We're talking about.
Oh no, sorry, I meant Yu'lon Celestial. That I should.
Oh,
I'll just
okay,
call
okay.
Celestial Conduit.
All right. Yeah,
Yu'lon
man.
Celestial. I have 2-minute Yu'lon.
2 minutes, right?
Or 3-minute Yu'lon, but 2-minute Yu'lon, and that lasts like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. That's good. Do we need anything else to pair with Yu'lon on that Rift? At 255. Rift is AoE damage. That will be 2.4 million to everyone over 6 seconds.
I just be spamming Vivify, so it's a lot of healing. But if there's if I can't handle it, then
Dreamflight Stasis.
Add more to it.
Dreamflight would be very useful for Nether Rifts. Yeah, Nether Rift 255. I don't know how strong Dreamflight is as far as a healing CD, but like everyone will be stacked during that point, so it's probably pretty useful.
It's a really strong hot.
All right, perfect. Okay, so that's the Nether Rift. Then we have charges going that way. We have nothing for the charges at 240.
You go rare on me, so 50%.
Okay, it's kind of like super far away, but I'll try it.
One of the big ones. Still got 24 million.
Yeah, there you go. No charge.
There's an arcane mage.
What does stasis do?
It might be able to make it.
Holds the 3 next helpful spells. Depending, so you can plan on what it holds, but usually it's your 2 essence abilities, your 30-second CDs.
Almost there.
It's dead. Crow Kit's coming now.
It's every minute and a half too.
Yeah, because the first rift first charges of P2, we are light. We again,
it's almost dead.
We only have wings there.
Not my watch. Yeah.
Can we move rewind to the rift?
Never got to kill him before.
At 2:30.
Right?
Yeah. No,
Rift?
the front one. Yeah, back it up, like all the way. Yep, there.
Back to my world quest.
Because again, like stuff in P1 hurts less than in other phases. So
You want to just throw a spirit link on the second nether rift? It's up. Second nether rift.
at the beginning of the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, but we will.
Oh,
yes.
we just haven't. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah.
We're going backwards.
We're going backwards because backwards is the most important.
I know. I had to take my headset off for a sec to talk to the dog, and I'm now lost where we are.
Yeah, we are still at 2:30. So now we have rewind. We have rewind and wings on the nether rift / charges. That's probably okay. Put for everyone to personal. It'll really just be on 240. It'll be whoever gets targeted by those charges needs personal. Which again, private aura sucks. Okay, so that's P2. So we have P1 intermission from 1:30 to 2, which we have AM, revival, conduit, healing tide, totem. We are fat for that. We'll be fine. Spirit link needs to go at like 1 minute. Yep, for that nether rift. I'm really not that worried about most of this stuff. Your divine toll can go on the charges at 110. Okay, we have wings, ascendance, a dream flight probably on the first nether rift. Yeah, will be stacked. So yeah, 26 or whatever that is. You can probably push ascendance back a little bit so it's a little bit later in the nether rift and then helps cover the charges as well. Oh wait, no, she's got a Emerald Communion there. Take Dreamflight off for sure. Your wings has to be there to be able to get it in P2, I'm assuming. Or is the CDR going to work different? Is it CDR or procs that you get?
I get it's a proc, but then when I get the proc, I choose when to pop it.
So the actual CD of wings is 2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, that should be fine. I mean, the charges in P1 shouldn't hurt. There's only 3 of them. I don't think it's that big of a deal. We are going to be like way overhealed on the first nether rift for sure.
This is like massive when it's
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like we have Emerald Communion, Ascendance, and Wings on the first nether rift just to get him on CD, but like that's gonna be way overkill. You could back up his Ascendance to the second nether rift with his Spirit Link, so they're overlapped. We're just not gonna need it at all there. Okay, I think that makes sense. Anybody thoughts?
Good.
Movement is extremely important for this fight. Actually placing the first nether rifts is not that hard in each phase. You actually have a lot of time. The thing that is actually harder is the charges, because you have to figure out which ad is targeting you. Your brain has to do the thought of where you need to go with that ad, and then you need to get there. So movement speed increases on the charges is going to be very, very useful. Roars would be better than wind rushes for people getting spread out, but charges are relatively after a nether rift, so we should be stacked up. So for now, let's slam Tex Windrush first on charges at 40 seconds. Queensbane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 41. I am assuming that is when the charge is going to happen, because that's when you should be getting the dot. So there's Tex first, and then we just rotate through everyone else. Schnacks second, sure, because he's next on the list. And how far apart are these phases? From first charge to first charge of P2 is like a minute 45. Do we know if Schnacks is going to run 1 minute roar? I guess it doesn't really matter, but...
Bears usually did, but I don't know if that's changed.
Okay. At 2... What is that? 40? 240, go... Oh, wait, is that actually 2 minutes apart? Okay, then it's just Tech and Schnacks rotating.
41 and 40. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can put it down early too, so yeah. So yeah, Tech and Schnacks rotating then works fine. So Schnacks will be at 310 or wherever. Yep. And 510's the last one. And we could have our other shamans just back up for funsies if they wanted to, but we don't really need to assign that. We can actually have our other shamans do the initial placements of the nether rifts then. Set jet to... yeah, it's going to be like 10 seconds into the fight, something like that, is when the actual debuff goes out to move. So put it at like 10 seconds. And then it's just going to be... I think everything is at 2 minutes, so just put jet on CD, Windrush Totem. Yeah. And Ty Leaf can just fill in wherever. That's the end of the fight. Cool.
Oh, that's not one rush.
Yeah, we shouldn't need the fourth one, but we'll just throw it on the fly if we do. All right, cool.
Yeah,
Next.
backup if one of them die.
Yep. It's going to be Schnacks. Schnacks will be dead for sure.
Probably.
Did I
Mm-hmm.
link this boss?
You did, yeah. Silken Court, what a weird fight on Heroic.
I mean, the testing wasn't that bad. Mythic,
So
but
the web breaking.
Web
yeah,
breaking
we're like, hey, it worked. Okay, let's go.
It was hella buggy. I say it's weird because there's actually not that many things doing damage to you. It's actually really similar to like Bloodbound Horror. If you're not one of the people doing web breaks, like in P1, there's like 1 dot and 1 AoE damage event through all of P1 that happen. So that makes it a little weird.
Most of it is just consistent small dot, and I really only stacked rains that were around swarms because the swarms just make it hard, and then the later vortexes that are with the swarms as well. So like, for example, there's Spirit Link Ascendance on this one, AM on this swarm.
I wonder how much use we're actually going to get out of Spirit Link here. I'm trying to think of like when are we actually stacked in this fight. On pull, the first thing that happens is Venomous Rain, so you have to spread out. And then you get a bunch of mechanics in a row that make you want to move. Yeah, I don't think there's really going to even be a real good use in P1. Okay.
Deck re-rolling Disc Priest for that fight then.
Yep. All right, Katie, explain anything else you got. I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about.
That's what I got.
All right, cool. So P1, Venomous Rain goes on X number of people. I guess I'll just assume it's like 25% of the raid, 40% of the raid. That's a guaranteed damage event. The other guaranteed damage event is Burrowed Eruption. Those are the only 2 guaranteed damage events. Everything else is dodgeable unless you're a web person. Web people will be taking extra damage. But yeah, so like that, for the most part, that's kind of it. Burrowed Eruption does 1.3 million damage, so it's kind of like group soaks earlier in the raid. It's probably worth to have something there, but I don't know if it's worth holding something there if it messes up timings for later in the fight. The thing is, though, that he does do what Venomous Rain like right before, or even they do it like during, because the other boss does Venomous Rain. Yeah, the boss who isn't burrowing does Venomous Rain, so it's basically like during the burrowed eruption. So that is actually a key defensive moment at 40-ish seconds and a minute and 42. Yeah. Those ones are going to be some damage. You'll have people with Venomous Rain, and you'll have everybody taking a 1.3 mil AoE. And I don't think we have anything assigned to the burrowed eruptions right now.
No.
So we will want that. We can bump your first AM back to the first one.
The burrowed eruption, you're saying? 42.
Yeah. Everybody is going to be spread, so a raid-wide AoE or DR is going to be really helpful. The web people are going to be running around. Everybody's going to be spread with the Venomous Rain, all that stuff. So I think that's perfect use for AM, to be honest. Does Revival clear Venomous Rain?
Okay, well, I didn't raid test.
I'm gonna assume
Restoral would be the one that could route. But I'd have to talent into it.
I'm gonna assume it's not like a dispellable thing. It'd be funny though.
From anything that I've watched, I haven't heard it mentioned, so I would assume no.
Okay, so first Venomous Rain, we have what? Wings, Yulon, Ascendance. And then second Venomous Rain is with the Burrowed Eruption, which we now have AM. Oh, we have Emerald Communion. I didn't see that down there. Okay, yeah, that's good. Third Venomous Rain is again Yulon and nothing else, it looks like.
Push the revival then? Actually, this is every 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, you gotta cut out.
So this won't be there.
Ah, okay, yeah, then for sure move. Probably Revival. What's Venomous Rain's damage? 1.5 million damage and an additional 250 every 2 seconds for 20 seconds. That's 10 damage events, so it's 1.5 mil up front and 2.6 mil over 20 seconds. I really wonder if Revival does clear the dot after. I'd be so happy if it does, but I doubt it. Yeah. Okay. I guess we just leave that for Revival on that one. So back Revival, put Revival at 1, what is that, 115? For the Venomous, yeah, that one, 110. Why is Skittering Leap on here? What even is that ability? Hold on. Oh, it's just the boss moving. Yeah. Okay. So that Venomous Rain, and then you have Venomous Rain and Burrowed Eruption at 142. Which we have Healing Tide Totem. We have Rewind. That sounds okay. Okay, that is basically all of P1. Anybody else have thoughts on P1? Tech Mono?
No, looks good.
Okay, P2. The intermission of P2, is that 2:30 or is that before that?
37.
Is that intermission or is that actually P2? I think that's actually P2. So intermission is at the void step, which is at 2:15-ish. Yeah. During that intermission, we're just going to be taking damage the whole time on Mythic.
Are we moving a lot?
Yes. It's kind of similar to Nexus Princess's intermission. It's like intermission 1 for this fight is like memory game. So she does pie slices exactly opposite of the room. You can kind of think of it like as an hourglass shape. And she'll do one slice, and then she'll do another slice, then she'll do another slice. And then the first slice that she laid down will blow up. So then you want to like move into the first slice of space because the next slice is going to blow up and so and so. So you're going to be moving a lot while you're standing in the slice that she has laid down that hasn't blown up yet. You're going to be taking ticking damage from that slice. She is also going to do a barrage every 18 seconds. And every barrage increases the damage from the next barrage by 20%. So you're taking ticking damage when you're standing in her webs. Looks like the ticking damage is 350k every 1 second while you're standing in them. You shouldn't really have to stand in them for more than like 2 to 3 seconds. And then every 18 seconds, you're taking like a 1 mil hit, plus a dot of 100k for the next 18 seconds. They might have actually changed the time on that. So intermission is going to do some damage. You're going to be moving constantly. The raid's going to be spread. I don't think Spirit Link is going to be very useful for us there. That's where we currently have it. His first use is in intermission at 220, 210. I don't know. Tech, do you think that's going to be a useful Spirit Link?
I mean, Spirit Link is terrible if there's a lot of movement. It just depends if we can place it in a way that people can dip in and out of it, then maybe, because it's a lot of DR, but...
Yeah, it'd have to be like just close to the boss, covering 2 pie slices, so you can be in one pie slice, move to the other pie slice. It might get value.
I mean, it could work. It's still like 20% DR through with talent, so it'd be still valuable.
I actually think it'll work fine.
Like worst case scenario, it sucks and we move it.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine then. Yulon's there, Wings is there. Okay. P2 abilities that do damage are Web Vortex at 311. And when we dispel Stinging Swarm, which will be on 3 people on Heroic. The people with Stinging Swarm will also take damage, but raid-wide AoE happens when we dispel it. So we definitely need stuff for web vortexes. That is like guaranteed.
We can push on up. Well, actually, we
no, it's 2 minutes. Yeah.
Wait, where would we be pushing it up to?
Web vortex, yeah, at like 310.
Do that. We can put a dream flight there too.
Conduit, yeah, dream flight. I'm trying to remember when the actual damage event of Web Vortex takes place because it sucks everybody in. I don't know if it's when we land or if it's when we get sucked in. I think it's when we get sucked in, so people are probably spread out. But it does an upfront hit of 1.5 million, and then it does a dot for 16 seconds as well. Okay, so for now we have just Conduit and Dreamflight and Divine Toll.
Yeah.
Okay. Might be okay.
We can add a rally or something too. I have this on here, but...
Okay. The Stinging Swarm dispels is going to be kind of hard to plan for because it's kind of just whenever we dispel them. Like we could choose to just mass dispel them. We could choose to do them one at a time. One at a time is way better for the actual DPS players on the fight because it gives the boss a debuff where he takes 50% increased damage. So P2 is kind of just going to be like a wing those phase as far as like healing CDs go. Like I can't tell you when we're going to need healing CDs for those. We are relatively dry for big healing CDs in P2 though, it kind of looks like. Using conduit there. I think we can probably just throughput heal the stinging swarm. How much damage does it do when it's spelled? 1,000,000 damage to everybody. No dot afterwards though, so I think we can just like throughput heal the dispels. I don't think we have to think too hard on them. And then, ooh, does he have the cataclysmic entropy cast on here? He doesn't. Revival might be risky in P2 and P3 because you might end up dispelling all of the dispels when they're not in the right place.
Is running Restoral still a thing?
Well, Restoral. Yeah. It's. You can do that.
What does Restoral do?
It doesn't
Should.
dispel.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be a problem. I don't remember the exact timings of when these second stinging swarms we would want to dispel them. But I think it's over a pretty decent amount of time. Well, it has to be. There has to be at least one stinging swarm still up by the time you web vortexes, because he does his like AoE after that, after the second web vortex. So there's going to be a stinging swarm debuff still on somebody, so we definitely do not want to dispel that person with a revival.
But we won't. Will we have the dispel by here?
Yes. Yes, you'll have to. So what's going to happen is he does 2 of his main mechanic, which is a like 12-second cast, and if you don't get all of the debuffs dispelled onto him by the end of that 12 seconds, he does a cast that kills the raid, or almost kills the raid. So he's going to do that twice in the phase. It's after the first one is at like 3:30-ish. I think. No, it can't be that soon. It has to be at like 3:45. The second one is going to be at like 4:45. Right before he goes into P2, effectively. Or intermission 2, I should say. So yeah, it's going to be after that vortex for sure. So either we need to run Restoral or we can't have Revival there. And I don't know what else we really have to put there.
We can put the 2-minute ramp there instead, because it'll be a. Oop, what the hell?
Double click.
Oh, click on the like broken squiggly line. Oh yeah. Top right.
Okay, you're removing Yulon. Is that going to be? Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know, Mono. That's up to you. Like, is it bad to run Restoral? I have no idea.
No, it's a choice node. It's either Revival or Restoral. It just same amount of healing. Just doesn't clear the magic.
Oh, then yeah, just do that. We don't have to change that then. I wasn't sure if it like took a negative to the healing or you had to pass differently or something in the tree.
I can cast it while stunned. So I mean, it's technically a buff, I guess. If you wanna really sell it.
Yeah, so put a note in this for Mono to run Restoral so that we don't all die at 4 minutes and 45 seconds into the fight. Okay. Truth. So we have, where's her next Emerald Communion? Can you scroll down? It's on, that is not useful. The Swarm is actually just a dot on 3 players. What is her last Emerald Communion on? It's on Swarm again in P3. Yeah.
We can move it here.
That shouldn't do. Well,
a rewind there, though.
Yeah, that's like intermission. You might just bump overlapping Emerald Communion, Revival, and Wings on the Web Vortex seems like hella overkill.
Here?
Yeah, but I don't know where else we actually get use out of Emerald Communion in P2. Again, it's like there's not that many AoE damage events happening in P2. There's actually like just the Web Vortex and the dot it puts on you afterwards. And the dispels when they actually get dispelled. So, like, I don't know where to get good use out of a strong healing CD like Emerald Communion.
Not everybody's gonna get good uses out of their cooldowns. That's just how healing goes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, plus Emerald Communion's also just good to use on CD because of the mana restoration.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
really super downside.
Fair enough. Keep it as is. I personally want all of you to overheal by 700%. That makes me happy.
Hell yeah, dude. Do the overhealing on me.
Don't worry.
I already did that.
That's what to say.
That's not-
That's
that's
already
good.
happening, man.
No.
See, there's a neck
So
with a
the
taste
Wretched
mastery
one
that has
is-
you heal me,
Dude.
you get mana and versatility. This one is Twice Stinger the Wretched.
Good.
Okay.
Group 8.
Yep, for sure. You never have to target him with healing anyway. Warlocks are stupid. Okay. So intermission 2 at 5 minutes. We have Yulon. We have Celestial Conduit we can put there as well. We have Rewind. We'll be fine. It's going to be a similar thing. We're going to be running around constantly. There's going to be a every 12 or 16 seconds. He's going to do like an AoE blast everyone. Okay, P3 is all the mechanics of the fight put together, but you still don't have Venomous Rain, so you still really don't have that much AoE damage. You have the Web Vortex at 615 for sure. Which actually you probably bump Spirit Link that to be honest. What's Unleash Swarm? What the hell is that? Unleash Swarm, Deadly Thing. Releases a swarm. Oh, okay, so he does gain an AoE. Unleash Swarm is an AoE on everybody. So he drops Venomous Rain in P3 and gains Unleash Swarm. Cool. So, never mind. Put Spirit Link back. Sounds good. Yep. How dare I say stupid things?
Up on me. Chronolith.
Unleash Swarm is every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds. They really went weird with these, like, ticking damages.
Yeah.
Found all the ones I hadn't done yet.
How many is that? That's 5, 6 ticks?
Coming.
So it does 1.8 million damage over 9 seconds. Okay. This effect grows in intensity over time. Oh, never mind. It ramps. Cool. Yeah, Spirit Link will be great for that. We can stack for that. There's like nothing else going on except for the frontal from the other boss. So hopefully we don't drop a Spirit Link directly on where the frontal is going to be.
Oh, we will. Don't worry.
I'm sure we will. I am sure.
Yeah,
Can't die through Spirit Link, okay? Communist totem won't allow that.
What?
Wings and Divine Toll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also still has Dreamflight.
Dreamflight, yeah. Oh, Dreamflight for sure, because we get put Dreamflight on the 615, yeah, on the Web Vortex or whatever it is. Because we get pulled all to one spot, you can Dreamflight immediately after that and hit everyone. He does Burrowed Eruption in this phase, doesn't he? Yes, he does. So at 625, we're gonna get a big AoE hit to everybody. Yep, 626. So that's going to be an AoE hit.
Personal?
Yep, probably. Sounds good to me. Everybody personals.
Celestial will be back up too.
Sounds good. And then there's not really anything happening for the next 30 seconds after that.
And if we live this long, she has her communion again. Tide revival, the end, kill a boss.
Yep, looks good to me. The hardest part is going to be that charge at 6:30 because the only webs you have is from the web vortex. So like people can't break their webs because it webs random people together when you get pulled in from the web vortex. So instead of having your assigned people who do it in P1, you're going to have random people grouped together and you're going to have to call out who's holding and who's not. It'll be fun. It'll be a blast. What likely is going to happen is that nobody's going to break their webs and everybody's going to stand on the charge. So we'll have like 12 web lines through the charge. It'll be great. Okay, sounds good to me. Did you link this one already? I didn't check. You did not. Please link. Okay.
And he doesn't have a thing for the last one, because we don't know shit.
Yeah, so we just, I don't know, we'll wing that for now. Did he not have anything in the sheet either?
No, he didn't have the first or the last in the sheet.
You
I filled out the mythic sheet actually for the first one.
jerk.
I was looking forward to seeing what you guys have cooked up.
Yeah, all right.
No, I'm disappointed. What the hell?
Well, get wrecked. You sat here for 2 hours for nothing. Get wrecked. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, there was not nothing. I learned a lot.
Where are you Plague Heart? Oh, Plague Heart on me? Where's one?
Yes. He doesn't have a sheet for this, obviously, because we have no idea what the timers are. I will. I don't know, Katie. Have you already looked at the mechanics of that fight or no?
Nope.
Okay. So before, because I think we're done for now, and we can talk about Mythic on Thursday.
It's in the journal?
Yeah, it's in the journal. Yeah, for Thursday, try and look at the mechanics. Obviously, we have no idea how often they're going to happen, but try and get a sense of what defenses or what CDs might be good, and that's like to all healers, not just Katie. Like everyone, look at that. I will look at it too. It's going to be hard, but we're just going to have a rough plan of like, hey, we might use these on this and this stuff on the other stuff, and wing it from there.
Right.
Hopefully somebody walks into Heroic like immediately on patch release and he can update it and put it up, and we might have something before raid, but otherwise that's kind of what we'll have to go with.
I don't know that I would spend too much time going through both. I don't think I would spend any time going through Mythic right now.
Okay.
I think that's all going to be like, I would wait till we go through it on Heroic, and then I would take our learnings, and then we talk Mythic.
Makes sense.
I would also
Brownie.
just need saving time, and then I would also do. Thank you.
Oh.
And then for the last boss, like I would go through the mechanics, and you can, but like other than you would want a ACD on X mechanic. So any of the main mechanics that are big AOEs or something like that. What makes a mechanic hard is the timing of it, and what makes an assignment possible and the timing of it, which is the unknown. So I don't know that you would spend too much just in saving your all's time. I don't know if I would spend too much time thinking about how you would.
Yep, I think that's totally fair. All right, so that being said, I think we are pretty much done for now. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss, bring up, questions, comments, concerns?
I guess from my part, genuine question is, should I put a bit of time into Priest just in case we do end up needing a Disc Priest for Mythic Prog? Or is that a TBD and don't worry about it?
I think if the person that's going to play Priest is one group here, I don't know that it'd be. Oh yeah. Others, I think you definitely want the Shaman.
Yep.
Okay. That's I'm very happy on the Shaman. I just thought I would offer because they did level 1, just in case Shaman got nerfed into the ground, and then Priest is generally a good pick.
Yeah.
I found Escape Cutthroat.
Do it if you want to, but I am currently planning to have your Shaman in everywhere, so.
No, that is fine. Like I don't have the time right now to do 2 characters.
Yeah.
That will be a later in the tier kind of thing, but
yeah, then don't worry about it.
Okay, sick. Sounds good to me.
Shaman's huge right now. Unless they nerf it.
Shaman's insane.
I'm just expecting it to get nerfed. The pessimist in me is saying that it's going to get annihilated.
They don't.
Is it broken though? There's a difference.
They don't do healer tuning, man.
No, it's just good, and Blizzard doesn't like that.
No, they left Monk in the state it was for the longest time. You're fine, dude.
That's true.
That is true. I mean, Paladin was insane for like a very long time as well.
I feel like you're safe for a little bit. It's like their brand new rework, right? So
well,
like
that's true.
You say that. Paladin
Yeah.
got a rework for a
Um,
tier, and then got reworked again for the next tier because it was.
Yeah, but you're
that's
safe for the
so-
tier. That's all
yeah,
that
Oh,
matters.
true.
yeah,
That's true. I got a whole tier on a fun class.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Alright.
yeah.
All right. Does anybody have anything else pertaining to healing CDs?
Oh, look at me.
I got one more wolf quest to do. If that makes you feel better.
Hush, Tico. All right. Then thank you very specifically, Katie, for porting all of this stuff over to this new website in the past like 4 hours. Super useful. Thank you all healers for putting in the effort on this. I know it's a change from potentially what has previously been done in the past, so thank you all for putting in the thought and effort into this as well.
Would I have a question like for DPS players? Like, would you be able to link us this so that we can note our like defensives?
Yeah. I'm gonna set it all up. I just wanted to have all of this stuff here for now because like I still need to talk with Sequoia as well and see if she has any genuine concerns over stuff that we've done. Obviously, because she's not here, she had to have a mandatory thing where she was out today. But once that's all finalized, everybody will have access to these timings.
Yeah.
All right, then thanks everybody. I am gonna head out here. I'll probably be back on later tonight.
Okay.
See y'all.
Good
See you guys.
night.
And thank you, stream, for watching. I'll probably potentially cut this video up, put it on YouTube for the different bosses. We'll see how it goes. People seem to generally like the boss review stuff that we did. I think it's interesting to see. I don't know how other people do healer prep. This is my first time doing it, so I'd be interested to see more content like that of people thinking things through. I think it'd be nice. All right. Yeah, thanks for watching.